Good morning, everyone. Suzanne Taylor King here for week 2. And today is all about the millionaire mindset. And it goes a little deeper than just your mindset. Let me share this into the Idea Lab Facebook group and we'll be ready to go. If you're joining me live, say hello in the comments. I love customizing my content for whoever is here live. And of course, ask any questions that you might have in the comments. All right, let's dive in. Today, we are going to the work that is required for you to be a millionaire entrepreneur. And what is most important before we talk about strategy, sales scripts, funnels, I want to get really, really real with you for a second. That this is the work, the inner work, the self discovery, the mindset shifts, the energy upgrades, how you're showing up. This is what separates those who dabble, those who have hobbies, and those who build $1,000,000 businesses. And I fought this 110%. I remember years ago investing and investing and investing in funnels and strategies and tactics and what do I need to learn next? What marketing trick do I need to learn next? And I'm here to tell you that you can't outmarket self-doubt. And I'm going to say that again. You can't outmarket, outpost, outshare self-doubt because that energy comes off. And you can't automate your confidence. You can't automate the way people feel when they're in your presence. You can't scale what you don't believe you are worthy of receiving. That's why this week has to come before all of those other things that are going to come in week 3, 4, 5, and 6 of the information I'm bringing to you. This quantum upgrade we're talking about today is the freaking foundation. So, if you're excited for that, get a I am worthy in the comments, please, and thank you. So, the truth is being an entrepreneur isn't just about doing. It's so much about being the kind of leader who holds the vision for your community over fear. The one who really sees the potential in your clients when no one else sees it. Being that future version of yourself now, which is a fabulous book by Dr. Ben Hardy, really right now, before evidence of it arrives. And that does not mean fake it till you make it. That means being energetically aligned with where you want to go. And if it feels a little uncomfortable, that's good. That means you're stepping into that highest version of you. And that's where everything changes. So let's go all in today. Jeff says, I am more than worthy. Yes, you are, Jeff. Brad says, I am worthy. Tina, I am worthy. Yes, Jeff, there's tons of dabblers out there. And our goal is to not be one of those dabblers, right? So, how do you build a better you to build a better business? It's a little something I call eudaimonology. And if you want to read more about that, I am happy to share something I wrote on that. But really, your daimon is that inner best version of yourself. Picture your daimon sitting on your shoulder, always knowing the best, smartest, best action to take. And your demon is the one that procrastinates. So daimon and demon. Okay, we got that? Now, in order to take elements of the couple things I'm going to teach you today. I'm going to teach you the power pyramid, which is something I'm working on right now. I'm also going to teach you the King's Audit. Now, my last name is King. It has nothing to do with that. It was named by somebody else a long time ago. But this is how a king would audit their life and their business. And those roles are really mental clarity, time ownership, which we talked a lot about last week, and emotional energy management. And look, if your business isn't growing like you want, the first place to look is not your strategy, it's your mindset. And we hear mindset thrown out there a lot. And I'm not going to give you airy fairy stuff today. This is actually going to be things that you can do to be that best version of yourself. All right. So, number one, why is your mindset the biggest multiplier? This is key because most people are looking for the next big tactic, but the entrepreneurs who scale, who grow, who raise their prices consistently don't just change strategy, they change who they are in their business. And this is so important to remember. I want you now to think about when there was a time you were doing all the right things, but you still felt stuck. Maybe it's today. Maybe it was 10 years ago. Maybe it was 20 years ago. But what changed in order for you to get unstuck? For me, I stopped trying to work harder and I started working on the version of me who could hold space for a seven-figure business. That meant sleep, water, how I was moving through the day, my exercise. Immediately, I dropped 20 pounds. So, this is ridiculously simple, but hard to do. Ridiculously simple, but hard to do. And think about that story for you. And if you're feeling stuck right now, then let's think about that story starting today. What decisions need to be made today so you can be that best version of yourself? Now, how do we do that? We're going to go into what I call the power pyramid. Similar to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, but more related to your own personal well being and your business. And I'll share a diagram after this live. I'll share it in the Idea Lab Facebook group. So make sure you're over in that group to get the diagram of the power pyramid. So I want you to think of this example. The base of the power pyramid is your mindset and your energy. The foundation cannot be built on doubt, burnout, fear, or everything above collapses. This is why your mindset and your energy are number one. They are the base of everything. That's why we're covering it today before I move forward in this 6-week event. And listen, if you don't have your energy right, take an honest look at yourself and figure out why. So, vibration is everything. You want to be the kind of person that people feel energized with. You want to be the kind of person who connects other people, that other people feel good when they are with. That actually results in people talking about you in rooms you're not in a good way. So, that is the single biggest gift that you could lean into at the base of your power pyramid. Now, in the middle of your power pyramid is the strategy and execution, because these only work when they're built on clarity and they're built on energy and your mindset. Now, at the top of that pyramid is when you can start looking at things like scaling. You could look, and I hate that word, growth, raising your prices, working with more exclusive clients, working less hours. That's at the top of the pyramid. And I would put on that top of the pyramid is visibility. You know, many people who are just meeting me are like, oh my God, she's like an overnight success. Oh my God, where did she come from? Look, it's been 15 years. I've been in this space figuring things out. And that top of the pyramid for me is more visibility. And I could only get to more visibility through my referral partners, through who I partner with, through who I hang out with, because the base and the middle of the pyramid were in place. Let me know if that makes sense. And your question to answer is, what's one mindset pattern you know is holding you back? And if you feel called, share it in the comments. One mindset pattern that is holding you back. Many of my clients struggle with self-doubt. Oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I'm too old for this. Oh, I don't know technology. Oh, I'm sick. Or, oh, I have this chronic disease. Or, oh, blah, 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 blah. And that one mindset thing is holding you back from being that high vibe version of yourself. Imagine, my neck always bothers me, right? Always pain, but I do things that allow me to function normally. If I showed up to every appointment, every live, like, oh, ooh, that affects the energy that people feel from me. So let me know in the comments, what's that one thing holding you back? Too old, don't know enough, not worth it, don't feel worthy. Oh, I'm too heavy, or I'm not pretty enough, whatever it is. And that single thing, I would argue, is what is between you and being higher vibe. So let that sink in for a minute. Now, let's dive into how we overcome that. How do we overcome the saboteurs, the self-sabotage, the negative self-talk in your head? We do that by doing something called the King's Audit. This is an honest look at yourself and questioning, are you still doing things you shouldn't be? And I want you to think about listing um, those things that you shouldn't be doing. And I'm going to give you some prompts to help you get there. Um, oh, Tina, that you compare yourself to others, thinking that they are better than you. Very, very common. And here's your homework: stop looking. Stop reading other people's emails who do what you do. Stop scrolling. Stop looking for somebody else to compare yourself to. That's number one. And when you're scrolling social media and you see somebody that you're like, oh, that looks so good, allow that to be inspiration, not negative feelings. That's your homework from me. So, with the King's Audit, we want to think about your current weekly tasks and dividing them. And we want to think about our calendar that we talked about last week, blocking off 90 minutes a day for 90 days. Now I'm giving you a little more detail. So we want to look at things like, what creates revenue? What creates revenue? And if you don't color code your calendar, these are the perfect things to color code. So right now, make a little list of what creates revenue on your calendar. Now, it could be client time, obviously, right? They're paying you for your time. That creates revenue. But let's back up before that. What actually leads to revenue? Scheduling a workshop, selling a workshop. Maybe it's networking, meeting some connections. Maybe it's outreach on LinkedIn. What are the things that come before somebody pays you money? And if you're not making the money that you want, here's your tough love. If you're not making the money that you want, your whole entire calendar needs to be what creates revenue. Now, sit with that for a minute. If you're not making the money that you want, and you have, say, 3 or 4 clients that take up some hours during the week, but you need more. You need many, many more. If you're not spending all the other time on generating revenue, that does not mean going to networking events. That does not mean scrolling social media. That doesn't mean commenting on other people's posts. That means actual conversations with people who could refer business to you or hire you themselves. I know that's a little tough to hear sometimes when we look at our calendar. All right. The next thing to look at in your King's audit is what drains your energy. If I say to you right now, grab your pen and write down a name that whenever you spend time with that person, it drains your energy. It might be business related, might be personal, might be family, might be neighbor, might be somebody in the online space. You know immediately who it is. Stop spending time with those people. If you walk away from a networking event and you have not made at least one connection who could be a client or refer business to you, and you're not excited to follow up with them and have another call, if you walk away from a networking event and that's how you feel, don't go anymore. I say give it 3 months. And if you haven't made a good connection, a referral partner, or gotten some business from a group, it's time to go. All right. Lastly, what could someone else be doing that's on your calendar? What could somebody else be doing better or cheaper than you doing it yourself? I love creating content. I'm not going to lie. I think it's super fun now with AI and all the tools. But realistically, somebody else could be doing that for me with a little bit of guidance from me. What else? Making PDFs, making graphics, making PowerPoints. All still really fun for me to do with ChatGPT and Gamma and all the tools that I love so much. But realistically, having somebody else do those for me with my specifications really will set me up to make more money in the long run, right? So I want you to think about that for you. And when you reframe your role in your business as the king or the queen of your business, not a glorified task doer. Let me know in the comments how many of you feel like the doer in your business. Oh, I have to do this. Oh, I have to do this. Oh, I have to do this. If you're feeling like a doer, put doer in the comments. And I want to inspire you today to be the beer, being the energized best version of yourself is really your number one job. It's really the single most important thing for you to show up like that version of yourself. And when you design your dream support team in your business, this idea that you weren't meant to do it all, well, that's kind of freeing. I don't know about you, but I thought I had to do it all until I fully realized in the beginning I could barter with other people who had talents that I didn't. And then as I grew and as I developed my income level, it became very clear I needed two types of people. I needed a doer who was capable of making graphics and PDFs and Google documents for me. There's 2 Google documents that go with this class today. And did I make them? Yes, I did. Why? Because it was actually easier than sending it off to my assistant. But he made the template. He made the footer. He made the folder for all of this content to go into. And what's really cool about that is having a template. It makes it, a less than 1 minute job for me to create a worksheet in ChatGPT based on this training and paste it into Google Drive. So, how do we really get in this mindset of hiring who would be good for us? My ops manager, Sherry, She does things that I love to do, creating GPTs, creating workflows, doing some automations, but that's not my zone of genius. That's her zone of genius. And having her to do those things for me totally makes sense, right? So millionaires hire for energy. They hire for time and they hire for clarity. Let me explain. When you hire for energy, somebody who matches your energy, somebody who matches your morals, your values, the things that are important to you in your business. I need somebody who's super AI savvy, who thinks quickly, who doesn't need a lot of detail because I'm not a detail person. When I say I want a quiz created for a client, here's the questions, here's their login. I don't want to say anything more than that. I don't want to create more than that. I need somebody who thinks on their feet. I need somebody who thinks for themselves. And I also need somebody who's a quick processor. So I had to know about me before I knew that was the person I needed to hire. So we're going to actually create a job description for somebody who you would hire. Even if you're not ready to hire somebody, having the job description is super important. So, imagine you're creating a position, a personal assistant for your business, for your brain clutter, for your messy desk, whatever that looks like. You're creating this personal assistant description. And of course, you can use ChatGPT to help you with that, or any it could be any role that helps you stay in your zone of genius. I have a amazing podcast producer, Jason Croft, and I just show up and do my podcast. And I know that each episode is then edited, turned into clips, description made for me, LinkedIn post made for me, all in a beautiful little folder for me to deliver to my guests. And you know what's even more important is that he gets me. He knows what I'm trying to accomplish. He knows my mission, my values, and everything I want to come across, not only in the branding, but in the voice of what I'm doing. And I can actually depend on him actually, which is huge for me, not needing to micromanage, not needing to check up. So, what does that look like for you? Something that allows you to stay in your zone of genius. Now, here's the internal shift that has to happen. You have to become the person who can hold that success, who can delegate, who can inspire, who can give instructions or SOPs, whatever that looks like. Who do you need to become to have the business that you want? How would you think about yourself? What would you believe? How would you maneuver in the world when it came to hiring somebody, delegating? And what, most importantly, would you say no to? And here's your prompt for some reflection. If I fully trusted myself and believed I was already there, what would I start doing today? Answer in the comments if you feel brave. If I fully trusted myself and I believed I was already there, what would I start doing today? I'll wait. Let me see your answers in the comments. Then, what would I stop doing? And I might even argue with you that the stop doing is almost more important. Stop saying you're not tech savvy. Stop saying you don't feel well. Stop saying I can't do that. Stop saying I don't know how. Go learn it. Stop saying I'm not sure or I'm not smart enough or I'm not pretty enough and figure it the you know what out. Let me know in the comments. So, this identity shift that I'm asking you to go through this week, for those of you that believe in the more woo-woo spiritual stuff. It could be related to energy medicine. What's your aura looking like? Are your chakras in aligned? Do you need a crystal in your bra? I don't care what you need to do personally. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I've explored hundreds of different holistic modalities in my lifetime, from acupuncture and massage to crystals to oils to meditation to sound healing to vibrational healing to inner child work. Like, I can't even name them all. But when I tell you, it doesn't matter what you do, it just matters that you do the internal work to shift that energy. Shifting into an energy of abundance, shifting into a place where nothing bothers you, shifting into that place where you know your worth, you know your intelligence. And, that next level for me is a little scary. It's a little intimidating, and I love it. Bring it on is something I say to myself so, so often. All right, I'm ready. Let's go. And that energy, instead of being like, ooh, I'm not sure, to, all right, bring it on, let's go. You can feel the difference when I show up in that energy. I can feel the difference. I know that I show up better for my clients when I'm in that energy. And Jeff says he loves woo-woo people. Awesome. And Brad says that's your superpower. I love it. And Alethea says, I've been doing a lot of work in this area, but one thing I had to stop doing is overthinking. Yeah, just get out of your own head and into your heart and do. So all these identity shifts and energetic upgrades I'm asking you to do is not just doing business better, but becoming the better version of you who doesn't tolerate anything that drains your power. Your homework: complete the King's Audit, create your own power pyramid. I'll share a couple examples in the Idea Lab Facebook group. Write one description of a future support team member and what that looks like. And then share a post in the group or a story. Here's the one mindset I am releasing so I can lead like the CEO that I'm meant to be. And if you share a post in the group, there's a special bonus for you. So share that story post in the group and let me know that one mindset that you're releasing so you can lead like the CEO you deserve to be. Right now, drop your biggest mindset shift so far in everything I talked about in the comments, or tag me in that post that you make. I want to celebrate you. And if you're a member of the Facebook group, the Idea Lab, awesome. Little note to you, my paid membership was also called the Idea Lab, and it is now name being changed to the Expansion Lab. And if you're in there, you're already ahead of the game. You'll get the worksheets for today, and you'll get some other bonuses on the mental models needed to make this quantum jump within yourself so you can attract more clients to you. This week, my members are receiving a King's Audit worksheet. They're also those mental models, how to refocus your energy, and Q&A on Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern for all who participate in this challenge that are part of my paid group. So if you have questions about being part of the paid Expansion Lab, it comes after the Idea Lab, right? The Idea Lab is the free Facebook group. The Expansion Lab is the membership group. There's referral pods, there's my AI mastermind, and most of all my course content. So if you love what you learned today, you might want to come join me for a month or two and see what you're missing. So, new client attraction and the done for you templates and swipe files and all the things you need are wonderful to have, right? But I'm here to tell you that the single most important thing that you need is that energy upgrade within yourself. So look inward today and know that if you want to come into the paid membership at $97 a month, it's $97 until we get to 100 members. then it's going to 197 because part of the value of being in my inner circle community is the other people. And if you need to meet better people, if that's one of the things you say to yourself on a regular basis, I need to hang out with better people, I've got people for you. So I would love to invite you to explore. Stay plugged in for the next 4 weeks where we're going to go into so much more. But get this mindset stuff together, do the work, watch what happens in your business, and then we'll talk about systems and processes and funnels and ads and all that good stuff. And I'll argue with you all day long that if you're going to invest in ads for your business, whether it's Google ads or Facebook ads or any of those things, and you don't fix the energy that you're putting out with that ad, they're not going to work. And I remember spending so much money on Facebook ads when I was a health coach, and the self-doubt and the way I felt about myself, it didn't work. And I know now, looking back, I can connect the dots and know why it didn't work. Because I didn't believe that my health coaching was worth anything more than dropping 10 pounds. And I, I can't believe that that held me back for so long. So please understand that I do understand where you're at because I've been there myself. So drop your questions in the comments and let me know about that big mindset shift you're going to make this week. Thanks for joining today. And as always, if you're catching the replay, put hashtag replay and let me know your questions. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you next week.